Good morning. I guess most of you guys are probably watching this on Monday afternoon after Easter, so I hope you had a happy Easter and a good weekend. Um, this week we're going to start to graph or look at graphs and tables for those quadratic functions that we've been looking at before. Now, thinking about quadratic and what that means and what we're looking at, a quadratic function is any function that has an x squared in it, right? So we're going to start by looking at the what we call the parent function for quadratics, and the parent function for quadratics is y equals x squared. We call it the parent function because it's the most simple version of an equation that has an x squared. By the end of this week, and definitely by the end of the next couple of weeks, we'll be able to graph things that look like y equals x squared, plus 5, where we have a number that's added. We might have some things that look like this: y equals negative 3x squared, right? Where we have a number that's multiplied, a coefficient. And of course, we'll have things that look like y equals x squared plus 3x plus 2. These trinomials that we've been working on factoring over the last 2 weeks. Okay, so let's get started with really thinking about, so we're not going to look at these on these notes, but these are just some examples of what we'll be able to do moving forward. So graphing a quadratic, all right? So the way that we should start is just by plugging in some points, right? So we're thinking about this function y is equal to x squared, all right? So I'm going to start by looking at some points like 0, 1, 2, and 3. All right. So remember that in a table, the x numbers, the numbers that are on the left side of the table that are x, remember, is our independent variable, right? That means that it doesn't depend on anything. We get to pick what numbers we use, right? Now you'll notice I started like halfway down because up here we're going to do some negative numbers and I want them to eventually be in order, but we're going to start by looking down here. So the way that this works is you plug in the x number into the equation and then solve that equation to figure out what that y is, right? So if I'm working on this one right here and I want to figure out what number goes there for y, I can say that y equals x squared, and I can plug in a 0 for x, so this will be y equals 0 squared, okay? All right, so now let's remember what a zero or I'm sorry, what a square means. Remember that a square only comes from when we have something like x times x, right? So this right here means 0 times 0. All right, well, 0 times 0 is 0. All right, so the y value that we're going to be putting in here is going to be a 0. All right, I'm going to pick a different color to use for the y's, and so that will be a 0. All right. Now on our graph, 0, 0 is just here, sort of in the middle of the graph, so that's going to be the first point of our graph. All right. Not super surprising since we have just a plain old function. We don't have any numbers added or subtracted. We've had a lot of graphs that have crossed through this point 0, 0. All right. So now let's move forward. Let's plug in a 1. All right. So y equals 1 squared. All right, 1 squared means 1 times 1, which is 1. All right, so our table so far, whatever the x is, that's what the y is too, but that's going to change here in a minute. But let's go ahead and plot that point. So 1, 1 means I go to the right by 1. Remember, this is our x-axis, and this is our y-axis. So I'm going to go to the right by 1, and then I'm going to go up 1. All right, so there's my second point. That's 1, 1. Okay. Now let's keep going here. So I'm going to do 2 squared, y equals 2 squared, so that's 2 times 2, which is 4. All right, so 2 times 2 is 4. So now it looks like our graph is going to jump up a little bit, right? So we're going to go from 1, 1 to 2, 4. So that's 2, and then up 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. All right, now let's keep going here. So let's plug in, let's do y equals 3 squared. All right, so 3 squared is 3 times 3, which is equal to 9. Okay, so When x is 3, y is equal to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9. Okay. All right. Now let's kind of, if I kind of connect my dots here, this is sort of the shape that I end up with. Okay. So we've kind of got this like line that kind of curves up. And it starts off just sort of normal, and then it gets really steep, right? It gets more steep as we go, or we're going up more as we go further to the right. Okay. Now let's see what's happening on the left side of the graph here, right? So on the left side, this is where our x values are negative. So this is like the negative x side, right? Well, let's put in our 9 there. Okay. So now let's put in some negative numbers. Okay. -1, -2, and -3. All right, so let's see what those look like. Okay, so y equals -1 squared. All right, now, if you're using your calculator here, you want to be really careful because -1 squared, if you type it in just like this, remember, it's going to do PEMDAS, which means it's going to do the exponent before it does the multiplication, or it's going to do the exponent before it puts the negative on, right? So you might remember that in the past, whenever we've plugged a number in for x, that we've used parentheses, right? So this is a case where it is going to be important to do the parentheses. That way it takes the number -1 and squares it, all right? So this is the same thing as saying -1 times -1. Okay, well, what's -1 times -1? Well, 1 times 1 is 1. Negative times negative is positive, so this is going to be +1. All right, so when x is equal to -1, y is equal to 1. All right, so let's go ahead and plot that point. So -1, 1. Okay, now let's plug in a -2. All right, so -2 squared. That means -2 times -2. Negative times negative again is going to be a positive, and 2 times 2 is 4, so this is going to be a +4. All right. Okay, so -2, and that's 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, and then finally we'll try the -3 squared. This means -3 times -3, which is equal to +9. So -3, and I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Okay, so what you'll notice is that the left side, or the negative side of the graph, actually looks exactly like the right side. We call this symmetry. Symmetry. Symmetry is when you can sort of fold a graph on top of itself and it will be the same, right? So symmetry, we also can see symmetry in the table, right? You can kind of see that there's this point right here where it sort of is a unique point, but other than that, we've got these matching numbers, 1, 1, 4, 4, 9, 9. So you can actually see symmetry in the table. Now this point where the symmetry sort of goes around, we call that the vertex. All right, this is also the vertex right here. Right, so in the graph, that point 0, 0 is the vertex. It's sort of the corner where, I'm coming from left to right, I'm coming down, 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 and then all of a sudden I turn, or I hit a vertex where I turn and I start going the other direction, and now I'm going up, 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 up. Okay. All right. So we've got a vertex. We have symmetry. Okay. So all of these are things that we're going to be looking at when we start to graph these functions. Okay, so next what I want us to do is I'm going to spend the last 5 minutes of this video actually kind of going through the assignment for you. Remember to use the code for your class. So I'm on my 2nd and 5th period classes. You guys are going to use this code right here, AUW4FX. If you are in my 7th period class, you're going to be using this code right here. And it's W7ADBY. So make sure you open up the hub page to get to that assignment. All right. You're going to go to student.desmos.com. You can just click this link, and here's what's going to pop up. All right. Okay, now if you want to, y'all know that it can be kind of weird to work inside the hub, right? So if you want to, you can right click. So instead of using so if you look at the camera here, instead of using the left click, I'm gonna use a right click. And if I right click on the link, I can say open link in new tab, and it'll open it up in a new tab, and it's sort of more clean. We don't have that sort of hub interface happening. Okay, now I'm gonna go back to the hub. Make sure that you grab the code for your class. So don't grab, if you are uh, if you're in my second and fifth period, you're not going to be using this one. You're going to be using the one that starts with an A. All right, so I will go ahead and join. Okay, now you're going to enter your name. I've got my name in here. I guess I'll change it to Mr. since we're in school and you're supposed to say Mr. and Mrs. to your teachers. Okay, so let's go ahead and go. All right. Now, the first thing I want you to do is click this 3-bar menu, and I want you to make sure that you are signed in. You can see that I am signed in using my HISD account. That is perfect. If you are not, you can click sign in right here. You'll see it, and you'll be able to sign in. It's so important that you sign in because that's how your work is going to get saved. If you don't sign in and your work goes away, you're going to have to redo it. There is no excuse. I can't see it, so it's not done, right? So make sure that you are signing in. Okay, now what this is a Desmos activity. So what you're going to do is kind of follow the instructions that we see here in the left side. The left side is the input, right? So this is where you sort of type in what you want. Now, what I've done is I put in a bunch of stuff, right, for you guys to look at, right? And then as you scroll through, you'll see that there's 25 pages. As you'll scroll through, there's going to be instructions. So very important to read the instructions on each page. And if you have trouble with problems, of course, come to office hours. You can see the office hours schedule right here for Algebra 1. It looks like Monday, which is the day most of you guys are going to get started, so I doubt that you'll be able to come into office hours on Monday. Tuesday at 1 o'clock, Wednesday at 11, Thursday at 11. If you wait till Friday, you're not going to be able to get help from me because Friday I have meetings and I have to grade all your stuff because it's due at noon, right? So make sure that you're coming into office hours. Okay. So let's kind of go through this first one together. It says a parabola is a graph of a quadratic function. So graphing quadratics is our title here, right? So maybe parabola is a word that we need to add to our notes, right? And parabola is the shape that we have. Parabola. All right. If you want to Google image search parabolas in real life, you'll see a lot of examples. Satellite dishes is a big one. There's something called a parabolic microphone that they use for filming TV shows. Spies also use parabolic microphones. There's some really cool things that you can do with a parabola in real life. There are parabolic solar panels that are super efficient. They concentrate all of the energy into one point. So this is the parabola, and that's the shape, right? Parabola is the shape of the graph. Okay, so continuing to read here on the screen, it says a parabola is a graph of a quadratic function where f of x or y is equal to x squared. For example, so we will use quadratic and parabola, both of those words, to refer to the graph of a function having the highest power of 2. So that's referring to the square, right? That's got a power of 2. All right, so if we look, you'll have control of this on your screen. You can click on and off that graph. And so what we can see is this is that graph of y equals x squared. And if you kind of click through, you'll see some of those points that we got, right? 1, 1, right? 2, 4, okay. 3, 9, having trouble getting on it, but you can see it. There you go, 3, 9. So these are all points that are on this parabola. So this is that same graph that we did here in our notes, okay? So it says just like an absolute value function, a quadratic function has a vertex and an axis of symmetry. We talked about that. Here's the vertex. If you sort of make it label that point, it will show that point for you right here. And then here's that axis of symmetry. So let's turn that on, and I'm going to click that again so you can see what's happening. On the screen over here, you'll see this green line, right? That green line. Remember Hoy Vux, right? So that's where we have a vertical line that has an equation that has an x in it, right? So this line right here is that axis of symmetry that splits the graph in half. Okay, so you should continue on to sort of answering all of these questions and working on all of these graphs. Good luck. Come see me in office hours. Love you.